Hello, welcome back. Glad you arrived again. Glad you pressed play and didn't move on to somebody else's channel. Though there's a lot of that about. For those people who don't want to listen to me blither, this is traditional. Go move forward to about the 2-minute mark and then you'll do the cooking and stirring and whizzing things bit. But today, a slightly different start. I watch a lot of YouTube videos in order to make my channel better, in order to make me better at what I do. It's a slow process, as you probably have noticed over the 52 videos I've done now. But anyway, I got 2 channels to recommend thoroughly this week. And I might do this again on a regular basis. But the first one is a channel called Even Darker on YouTube. And it's this guy, I think his name's Calvin, and he's a caver. But he's probably the most extreme caver I've seen. I'm sure there are more out there, but he's the one I've seen. And him and his, I think his nephew Jacob, get into some amazing holes in the earth and amazing things to look at, and the nature and the caves and what's in the caves. The man is a master, and like I say, he squeezes into some places I wouldn't even look at. Largely because I'm a portly gentleman, and also because I'm a bit claustrophobic. But it's an amazing channel to watch, so go and have a look at him. And the second one is the absolute master of YouTube for me. Anyway, a guy called Rick Beato. He's an ex-producer. I think he's probably getting back into producing, to be honest. He's an ex-producer, and he knows his way around a fretboard and a keyboard and all the other musical instruments. The man is a genius, and he sells courses on how to become the genius that he is. But the things he reviews and the things he talks about are just immense. He's got an amazing repertoire. Go and have a look at him, Rick Beato, and of course, Even Darker, the caving video. Right. They're my recommendations for this video. Onwards to mine. So this is a very, very simple recipe. The background is I always keep a bag of gyoza in the freezer. And gyoza is like a Japanese dumpling which was based on an original Chinese dumpling. Different spelling, similar way of saying it, but they're little crimpy sort of dumplingy things, and they're great for, you know, like a Saturday night. After dinner you want some snacks, just throw them into the fryer and kick off. But today I'm going to make them into a soup, because they're lovely dumplings, but they're even better when put into... Start again. Can't talk today. Sorry. They're even better when put into a nice broth with some ginger and garlic and stuff. So here we go. Let's kick off gyoza soup. And what is on today's board of goodness? We have gyoza, which is the whole point of doing this video. These are vegan gyoza, vegetable and tofu. So we got some spring onions and some broccoli, and we're going to use loads of ginger, quite a bit of garlic, some veg stock, and some noodles. You can use any noodles, but these are I'd got in the back of my cupboard, so I'm going to use those. Right, what bit I'd forgot. Pause the video. Yes, you need some chili flakes, some brown sugar, and some tamari or regular soy sauce. Anyway, kick off the water. It's going to be about 2 litres, and then add in your roughly chopped ginger. You don't need to do this too finely, because the boiled ginger at the end of it is going to be gorgeous, little chomps of ginger. Throw in equally as roughly chopped garlic, couple of minutes, and then some chili flakes. Chili flakes are entirely up to you. I had a good sprinkle because I like a little bit of a bite to my food. You can ignore them completely if you don't want any bite at all. And then for the 2 litres you're going to need the stock cubes that will make 2 litres of stock. I think I only put in 3 here on the video. In the end I ended up with about 5. Keep stirring, keep bubbling, get that stock to release from the cubes. Then we're going to do a bit of tamari or soy sauce or whatever you've got. Lovely richness of flavour. Interestingly, a lot of the recipes of this use sugar, so I'm going with some brown sugar. I like a bit of brown sugar. It's an interesting addition to the soup. I like it. I don't like sugar and everything, but I like that. So while that's bubbling away and infusing that water with all of the different tastes and flavours, then get in there with your frying pan. And I'm using toasted sesame oil to fry my gyoza. If you haven't got it or can't find it, normal sesame oil is fine, but don't use olive oil. Use vegetable oil or something without any flavour at all if you can't get sesame oil. So pop them all in at a medium heat. Don't burn them. Allow them to breathe a little and lightly fry them. Right, let the gyoza slowly fry. While you're doing that, in the simmering water, you're going to be adding your noodles. And although that's a vegetable medley pack I've got there, I'm really only fishing out the broccoli. Not a big fan of French beans. Don't know why. They're just, yeah. Other than a tuna niçoise, I wouldn't use French beans. Anyway, drop in your spring onions. Don't cut them cylindrically. Cut them along. I don't know why it was a traditional thing in Asian dishes to cut them long ways, but if you want the artistry of this particular dish, cut them lengthwise. They're really nice that way. Right, back to the pan. Keep them moving around in the hot oil. You do not want to overcook these. Point to note, defrost them as well. You can only do them frozen if you're steaming. If you're frying, they will cook too much on the outside and not enough on the inside, and that's always a joy. If anybody can remember Finder's crispy pancakes from back in the 80s, there was always a joy of a burnt outside and a inside. So anyway, there we are. You start to turn them over. You can see them going a little bit brown. That's not a crispy brown. That's just a light. It's still a soft brown. And we reach the finish line, the traditional point of which I display how badly I am at serving food up. Try and fish a bit of noodles out and leave some of that on the cooker. And there we are, some noodles and some spring onions and the broccoli. Get as much of the broth out as you want. I didn't want too much broth in this, just enough to soften the gyoza when you put them in. I probably need a bigger serving spoon by the looks of this. Oh well, the joys of amateur cooking. And then throw some gyoza around the cooker. I'm going to do a video just of me practicing serving. Anyway, there it is. It's beautiful. Give it a second or two because that broth is going to be really, really hot. But anyway, it's a gorgeous soup. It's very simple. There were no fried onions involved. And what is it? 20 minutes max that took, I think. A really beautiful soup. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for making it to this end of the video. Thank you for enjoying the gloriously amateur video that this was. I'm going to leave all that stuff in. I'm not going to edit it out. This is me. This is certainly me today. Anyway, thank you. Like and subscribe next time.